Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in the north of Scotland in Wolfburn, yay! This is Wolfburn 204. Now this is the fifth of their small batch releases, which is very interesting. 5,800 bottles worldwide. Okay, I have one of them and it was actually matured for 4 years in ex-bourbon casks. Unfortunately, it does not say first fill, it just says ex-bourbon. And then it received the finish for 6 months in first fill Madeira hogsheads. Anytime I read hogsheads with Madeira, I think seasoned casks. All right, so I paid €61.90 for this, and it's 46% non-chilled filter and natural color. Very, very good. Whiskey base number 168871. Now I have a question on the community. I am not the biggest follower of Wolfburn. I like what they're doing. I'm interested in, but I'm not in the details yet. Now I found out that there's been, as I mentioned, 5 small batches. The first small batch was 128. So it was half-size bourbon, first fill bourbon barrels. Wonderful, about 100 liters. Must have been nice. They were very, very quick in their maturation. Good. So then the second one was number 270. All right, so there they used first fill bourbon casks. Also very, very good. So number 1 was 1, number 2 was a 2, number 3 was 375. Also makes sense. They used, once again, those half-filled or half-sized bourbon cask, and then they finished it with Oloroso sherry. Also nice. But then the fourth small batch release is not a 4, it's a 155. Why? And they used those ex-bourbon casks, and they used the port finished. And number 5 is not a 5, but rather a 204, and it's, as I said, ex-bourbon casks, and it has a 6 months finish in the first fill Madeira casks. So I don't understand the numbers. I don't understand the 128, the 270, the 375, the 155, and the 204. If it was actually the batch number or the barrel number, yes, but it's 5,800 bottles. So it's definitely not, has nothing to do with the barrels. All right, so if someone can enlighten me, I would be much obliged. So on the nose, okay, very, very good. I'm getting a little bit of the, for me, Madeira is often these wild strawberries. I remember as a 10, 12, 13-year-old child taking my BMX bike, going into the woods, and actually in May, June, finding these wild strawberries and eating them in the woods. I'm not a great big fan of real cultivated strawberries. Once a year, yes, but I'm not someone who goes, oh, I have to have at least a kilo a year, and I just love it. Now, what I also get is a deep, dark, rich chocolate that almost kips, almost tilts into the tips into the barrel char, almost in the peated smoky moment. So wood, vanilla, malty sweetness, and it doesn't really smell old. Now, why am I hammering the moment of old? This is a new distillery. Yeah, 2013, 7 years old is the oldest stuff they've actually brought out yet, and there's been single cask releases. Maybe there's an 8-year-old by now. So this is 4 plus half a year with the finishes. It's 62 euros. That's 70, 75 bucks for a no age statement, basically. I expect I'm going to use the word finished whiskey by then. All right, and the problem is this whiskey is not yet where I, Whiskey Jason, would like it to be. I expect great things from Wolfburn in the future. Imagine a 10, a 12, a 15, an 18-year-old Wolfburn. Yummy, yummy. But a 4-year-old with a little bit of a finish on top is still going to be young, and that's what it is. Cheers. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Towards the end, and actually the finish is my problem, it's almost green. It's almost metallic. It's very, very young. The whole time I have a nice, deep, dark chocolate. As I said, it almost tips into the barrel char smoky moment. Not really an Isla peat, but a smokiness. But it's there, and it continues on through. The Madeira, the wild strawberries for me are just fantastic at the beginning. They do cover a lot of the youthfulness, but then towards the end, it just cannot deny it being 4 years old and a little bit more with a finish here. I'm not sure if those half-size bourbon casks would have helped here as well, to speed up and to yeah, increase the rate of maturation. Who knows? I'm not a great fan of this. I compared it to a 7-year-old. I only have the sample here. It's a Germany exclusive, the Vibrant Stills. If you take a look at my videos, you find this as well. This is so much better. This is so much richer, so much creamier, so much rounder, so much of a whiskey which I would prefer. And it's just not there. What it reminds me of is something that I've done a few videos about recently, Waterford. If you take the 1.1 and compare it to the 1.2 of any of the farms, you'll immediately notice a maturation time development. And I'm waiting for the 1.3s and the 1.4, where the same farm, the same distillate, the same spirit that has been matured, instead of the 3 years or 4 years, is going to be 5 or 6. And those are going to be absolutely better. This is the problem, that is basically at the not yet there stage. Yes, you can bottle it. Yes, you can drink it, but you cannot, I cannot say, I cannot recommend it. That's the problem. I'm not going to recommend someone going out there, putting 62 euros on the table and say, hey, give me a bottle of the Wolfburn 204. It's got to be good because it's the first fill Madeira Cask, hogsheads, probably seasoned. And it's just not worth the money. There's so many other opportunities out there to get really good liquid for the same amount of money, or even less, and I just cannot say, hey, this is the thing you should have. Now, Wolfburn's doing fabulous, good stuff, yes, and I really look forward to the future, yes. But this one bottling just did not touch me in any personal, did not encourage me to recommend other people to buy this bottle. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's especially the finish which really kills this whiskey, in my opinion. C minus, value for money, D. Everything else they're doing is nice. It just needs more time in the cask. That's all, people. Wait and wait another year and then see what happens. All right. Wait for the small batch release, 6 or 7 or 8 or maybe even 10. Who knows? They're putting about 2 a year out at the moment. So, Whiskey Jason here. My question of the day is, what do you think of Wolfburn as a distillery, and what is your favorite? Northland is one of my favorites. Aura was a little bit of a disappointment, very young, and the sherry didn't really sink as it should. And the Morven, which was more of the, I think the peated wasn't my cup of tea either. But the Northland was lightly peated, and I liked it somehow the most. All right, thank you very much for watching. Please like, please tell others about this crazy guy over here in Germany tasting whiskey you might not ever see. Good system, right? And thank you very much for commenting, and also for maybe even sharing this video. Bye-bye. All the best.